In this video, I'm talking about relationship life cycle. So like products have a life cycle, a new product comes to the market, more and more people buys it, it's became plateaued and then decline and then nobody buys the product anymore. It's the same with relationship. And some relationship come to an end, and if you are lucky actually, then you or the other person dies, and it means that the relationship lasted forever. And I'm talking about many different kind of relationship, especially romantic relationship with man or woman, but it can be friendship, and of course it can be employment relationship or just any acquaintance. So emotionally, you can process the end of a relationship, especially when you don't want to end it, but the other person wants to end it, or the situation changed that you just separate in different cities or different countries, so the relationship come to an end, or at least for a long hiatus. So if you are aware of relationship cycles, the life cycle of relationship, then you know that in one time, at the end, it comes to an end and it will be finished. So you can prepare for this, and don't try to cling to it. Don't try to be so attached to this person, to the relationship with this person. Of course, the best example is a romantic relationship or marriage, or boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, and they break up. If you can just let the other person go. So don't become so dependent on the relationship or on that person. To accept this, that there is an end, and not to suffer emotionally for a long time, you have to be independent. If you depend financially, emotionally, or maybe let's say sexually, or the other person is the only person who listens to you, accepts you, and otherwise you become super lonely. If you don't have any friends, then you will be very clingy to this relationship, and actually maybe that's why the other person wants to run away from you. But even if not that case, accept that the relationship will end. Don't blame the other person. Don't make the other person suffer at the end of the relationship. Or don't take revenge. Don't write a lot of stupid things about the person in their Facebook page. Accept that the other person want to be free. Maybe you want to be free, but that is the easier way. But if the other person wants to go, let her or him leave. Don't pull the other person back. But of course, sometimes if you don't give up easily and you fight for the other person, maybe the person will change his or her mind and stay, and well, it can be a long-term relationship, good relationship, but statistically speaking, usually this is not the case. Usually when the other person wants to go, probably it means that the relationship cannot really improve. Of course, it can be a tactic from the other person that signal that I want to go, but doesn't really want to go. It's just a signaling, and of course do everything. The relationship is important for you to keep it well. But let's say if the person really wants to go, just let the person leave. Wish him or her happiness. Maybe you can continue the relationship in a different way and not ruin totally. Maybe it was a romantic relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend. Maybe you can be friends, and maybe a few years later you can be good friends, and you don't have to hurt the other person, and you don't have to hurt yourself by being so attached emotionally to the other person or too needy that you cannot let other person. So this is related also about being a control freak, because if you believe that the other person needs to be committed to you, even if the other person doesn't like it, it's so crazy. It's control freak. So if the other person wants to be free from you, then give this freedom. Don't control. Be a real mature man or woman and accept that maybe you don't match. And let's say, because there is a life cycle, so maybe at the beginning you really match, and maybe one of you or both of you changed, or the situation changed, and your priority maybe is not the other person, and you realize that basically every relationship is conditional. So let's say we have a great relationship because we live in the same city, but then maybe there is a good job opportunity or study opportunity or whatever happens, and you realize, or the other person realizes, that the priority is the work, and then leaves to another city, and you cannot maintain the long-term relationship, and then you realize that yes, we don't really know why we want the other person, and we don't really know how much we want. So is it the relationship? Is it really about the person, so great person, or just under the existing circumstances the relationship is good? And when the circumstances changes, maybe it can be cruel that maybe the other person became disabled, or you became disabled, or there's a new opportunity, or maybe a third person comes. Whatever happens, you find out that the relationship that you believed is so perfect and ideal, and the person loves you, and yes, really you love each other, but it's always conditional. Conditional change, people change, values change, beliefs change, maybe the original enthusiasm based on the novelty, maybe the person was very different from a previous relationship and gave something refreshing into your relationship, but now it's gone. You get used to this person talking about the same boring topics, and if you are not able to renew your side, and the other person is also not able to renew on their side, to be interesting and interested and bring new things and create new adventures together, then the relationship declines and finally ends. And be generous at the end. Don't make the other person feel bad. Let the person go. Even if you believe that the other person did something, find another partner, or choose to leave you because for a new job opportunity or new life experience, then just accept this. It's not about you, it's not about the other person, it's relative. Everything is relative, and you cannot expect the other person will totally admire you. There are many other people, other opportunities, and usually relationships temporary. But of course, you can be lucky if you really work very hard on the relationship, and both of you are very conscious about this and can provide everything to the other person that they want from a relationship. Then yes, statistics shows that there are some great relationships last until both of you leave.